brought it with me. It would have been stage 2 3 weeks ago when we got snowed out, but I couldn't not work on it. So, first thing I do, this is a very typical Jean sketch, and you can pass it around. You can see how totally loose. What was in my head? What did I want? Okay. And those of you that don't sketch like that. But then I thought, what simple? What do I want? So I then very simplified my sketch for composition. And if you need inspiration, most of what I have is from photographs I took myself or drawings I did myself. But I brought, if you don't know where you're going, I brought some books and ideas on the back table. You're welcome. I also brought colored pencils if you want to sketch something out. I don't usually, although I've done it, I have done a colored sketch with colors, with pencils or watercolors. I did not on this. But you can do that. But again, my style is I would never spend more than 20 minutes creating a watercolor or a drawing, preparing for a work. Because it's not my final piece, nobody's going to see it, it doesn't have to be perfect. I think the rule today, if you live in my world, perfection is a sin. Understand? Now, stage 4, that's different. By then I'm getting, like, I had to learn from all the people that are much better at straight edges and those kinds of things. But, so drawing, what are you trying to say? What I was trying to do with this, and the other thing I did use for this, and I love this artist. I fell in love with her. A friend gave me this book. I've had it for years. So you may, and pass it around, you may or may not see in my final piece, I think you will, Dala Ipkar's Motivation and Work. You don't see it here, but I think you do see it in the final piece. So my idea, and I'd like you to do this, and I wouldn't work any bigger here than maybe 36 inches. I think 24 might be better. I made the mistake. It turned out okay, but it's frustrating at the workshop last week of working very big and not having really enough room. So I work big, I like working big, but I think the idea in a workshop, practice it, whether you ever, end up with a piece at the end of the day, you go home and quilt if you so choose, or you can just say, I learned something. How many of you have a drawer? I have a drawer, you may have a different spot, called, rejects. Mine often get cut out, they often get included in other things in the future. So never consider something that you're not totally happy with a bad thing. Because one of the best works I ever did that got several shows started from a reject. So, you pass around. Then I take large pieces and lay out what I think is going to be the color and the basic design. Here, what I was trying to show, I wanted a radial design. Okay? I wanted a strong vertical, and I wanted a horizontal. In composition, this famous, they call it L, you can do it this way, in a composition. You will almost always find it in my work, almost always. But the radial was my composition. That's the purpose of the simple sketch. What are you thinking? Are you going to do a horizontal? You can do a totally vertical composition.